Hi everybody, Patricia Pinky here with Stop Throwing Cash in the Trash. Today our show is going to be about a subject that is tropical related because we're here in Florida for the winter. So the next couple of shows will be dealing with things that people might collect that are from Florida or Florida. Today we're going to be visiting a really popular attraction for today, and it has been for 79 years, Sarasota Jungles. The reason I'm here is to talk to you a little bit about flamingos, because we're going to be talking about flamingo related collectibles that are popular and collectible. So let's go take a look in and we'll talk a little about the park and some flamingos. Flamingo in the wild usually lives about 20 to 30 years, but in captivity, such as a zoo, they can live 50 years. When they fly, they can fly 37 miles per hour and go like 315 miles overnight. So that's pretty interesting. Now, if you look at their legs, the middle part of their legs is actually their ankle. So this is their ankle right here. There you go, buddy. You want some? They'll actually rest on one leg because they use less energy. So that's why you see them sleeping sometimes on one leg. Oh, and the oldest known flamingo lived to be 83 years old out of Australia. He died in 2014. So you can see why people are so fascinated with such a beautiful creature. And that's why we'll be talking about why their vintage items are so collectible with depictions of flamingos. This place is beautiful. Again, you can see the palm trees. We have some swans, ducks, seagulls, different birds here, tropical birds. Here, guys. There you go. Help yourself, guys. Now this park was started, I believe, in 1937 from two guys who wanted to take a subtropical, basically, property and make it into an attraction, a beautiful garden. So with their hard work, that's why you have what you see today. Very peaceful out here. Here at Sarasota Jungle Gardens, they allow you to feed the flamingos, but that doesn't happen at a lot of the places that are attractions, but you can do that here. This guy's just waiting. Now, this doesn't hurt. So they just kind of skim the food off your hand. Their beaks are kind of the opposite of a regular bird. Yeah, they love that food. You can tell these guys are fed good because they have beautiful colors. The more crustaceans, insects, actually the pigments in crustaceans, the food they eat, algae, will determine their color and how brightly red or pink they are. Usually they grow between 2.5 foot to maybe 4.5 foot and weigh about 7 to 8 pounds. This one's yeah, he's looking. Here we go. There you go, buddies. And I guess they only the females lay 1 egg a year, normally. And if there's problems with that, like the egg's destroyed, they usually have to wait another year. So they gotta watch for predators, and natural disasters can kind of hurt the flocks. Here we have some baby alligators that are just waiting for their treats. So let's see what happens here. Looks like they're all at attention. Oh, yep, there they go. Too bad we only have I think we have like 12 treats, and there's a little bit more than 12 alligators there. Well, they like these treats. There we go. I thought I'd give one to the guys behind. There we go, guy. Yeah, they won't allow you to get in close with these guys. You have to go over the top of the glass here, which is just fine for me. Okay, next we're going to be heading for the birds. This is one of the most popular things to do here at Sarasota Jungle Gardens, and that's their selection here of parrots and macaws. This is Andy and Houdini and Andy Jr. And as you can see, they have some beautiful, exotic, and subtropical plants here. I believe they have over 100 species of palm trees. That's a banana tree that we're showing you right now. And this place is just gorgeous. It's like 10 acres, I believe 10 acres, with thousands of species of plants and over 200 critters. You know, amphibians, birds, you name it, they've got it here. Now it's time for some snacks at the Flamingo Cafe here at the Sarasota Jungle Gardens, and we'll see you back in a little bit at the house. Now we'll take a look at some of my favorite vintage flamingo items that I happen to find at garage sales. Right here we have a couple of concrete cement flamingo statuary from the mid-century. This one didn't have its legs when we bought it, but we bought some rebar at Home Depot and fixed that up. And then this one's a small one, but he's pretty small. We'll probably have to put some wood dowels in his legs, and you could paint them pink if you wanted to. This one here has some cracks in it. If somebody wanted to redo it, they could get some of this DAP, I guess concrete filler. It's like a concrete crack and hole repair kit, and then sand it and then paint it, but I kind of want to leave it the way it was. I like the original, more of a rustic feel. But these two together, would probably sell for about $100, maybe $125. So that's some of my treasures. So join me now in the house and we'll be talking about some more vintage flamingo items. Okay, let's get started talking about some particular vintage flamingo themed items considered collectible and valuable. First on the list today is iconic vintage suburban yard art plastic flamingos. The official pink flamingo was manufactured by Union Products. It was an employee, Mr. Don Featherstone of Massachusetts, from 1936 to 2015, as he just recently passed away a few years ago, who was an artist sculptor who invented the iconic pink plastic blow mold flamingos, which has been decorating suburban lawns since 1957. Even though Union Products manufactured the first plastic yard flamingos, patents and official molds for the classic lawn birds have been transferred to different companies. These birds are still in production today, and now there are more plastic flamingos in America than there are real ones. Featherstone himself designed over 650 assorted lawn bird molds for Union Products via injection mold technology that allowed the mass production of three-dimensional plastic sculptures. Here you see a couple of different ones that he designed: a duck, a bat, and a turkey. His original flamingo prototype came from photos found in a National Geographic magazine. It took about 2 weeks to model both halves. Over 20 million have been created throughout the years before the Union Products Company closed its doors in 2006. In 1987, the company had added Featherstone's signature to each bird's backside, which would help to date them. Mr. Featherstone once told the Boston Globe, "An empty lawn is like an empty coffee table. You have to put something on it." Union Products and Empire Plastic Corporation's plastic three-dimensional blow molds are the most desired by collectors today. Now, how about some interesting Flamingo mobster trivia? It's well known that infamous American mobster Bugsy Siegel contributed to the beginning of the Las Vegas Strip. He opened the Flamingo Casino Hotel back in 1946. Opening night was set for December 26, 1946, for the Las Vegas Flamingo Resort. Bugsy had quite a giving heart to his celebrity VIP friends, so to commemorate opening night, he gave out ceramic souvenir flamingo sculptures. The sculptures were distributed as thank you gifts for Bugsy's big wig VIP list who planned on attending the Flamingo's grand opening event that night. The statues were made by a California company called Will George. Only 200 were produced. These rare historical select VIP ceramic flamingo sculptures given out during the Flamingo's opening night are hard to find and thus quite collectible. Out of the original 200 that were made, maybe 70 survived, as most were broken that first opening night. In fact, any original Las Vegas memorabilia or collectibles from 1947, known as the Siegel era of the Flamingo, is hard to find and thus quite collectible. Unfortunately, Bugsy ran the hotel casino for a very short time before the mob decided he had to be eliminated. If he could only see what the Las Vegas Strip looks like today. Did you know Bugsy Siegel was a true treasure hunter? His reputation as a celebrity gangster reached new heights in 1938 when he was asked to join some Hollywood aristocrats on a bizarre schooner trip to the seas off the coast of Costa Rica. Lured by reports of buried treasure, Siegel and his fellow passengers sailed for Cocos Island, a remote island. He spent several days digging, drilling, and even dynamiting hillsides in a fruitless search for it. The harebrained treasure hunt came up empty-handed, and the group's ship later had to be towed to Mexico for repairs after it was salvaged in a storm and left adrift. News reports pounced on the hell ship story after Siegel returned to California, with some alleging that the voyage had involved a mutiny by the crew, or that it had been a cover for a drug smuggling or gun-running operation. Some other Flamingo pieces that are highly sought after are particular 1940s and 1950s ceramic TV lamps and sculptures, and those made by William Maddox and Will George of California. Always pay attention to signatures on the bottom of the statues. Here we have a mid-century stacked lampshade flamingo lamp, value around $100 to $150. This is a vintage 1950s Lane and Company TV lamp, price $350. Here we have a Will George of California pottery 16-inch statue from the mid-century, asking price $200. Here you see the Will George signature. Moving on, we'll go to the subject of Art Deco Turner Manufacturing Company prints. The famous 1940s-50s Art Deco Turner Manufacturing Company of Chicago created prints with innovative pastel images of flamingos, various birds, flowers, and other depictions. The framed flamingo prints are the most sought after. Some of these prints have lovely mirrored frames. Originally, Turner prints were sold in 5 and dime stores. Unfortunately, the company closed their doors in the 1970s. Prices will depend on size, condition, and rarity. Here you see the Turner signature that blends in with the print. And here's a Turner floral print with a selling range of $100 to $350. Now let's talk about flamingo fabric, in particular bark cloth. Bark cloth is a heavy textured woven, usually printed cotton fabric that was made during the 1930s, 40s, and 50s. It was popular as a fabric used for home interior decorating, used mostly for upholstery and drapery. Most bark cloth, tropical and atomic age printed drapery fabric can sell for over $400 if found in very good condition. This one here is selling for $495. You have to be very careful with cleaning bark cloth because when you launder it, it can literally fall apart. So I would suggest putting it in a warm tub of water with some mild detergent, just enough to move the fabric a bit, then rinse it. Now let's talk about some vintage jeweled flamingo brooches. First one I'd like to talk about is this Trifari pink rhinestone brooch. In 1998, Trifari designed limited edition jeweled flamingo brooches. Only 3,000 were made to sell via QVC. They each measured 2 3/8 inches wide by 3.25 inches high and 0.75 inches deep. You can always search for the Trifari logo on the back of the pin or brooch. This Trifari flamingo brooch features brilliant pink faceted rhinestones in a gold-plated setting. In top-notch, near-mint condition, these brooches sell for $100 to $250 each. Now I'm going to talk about a Chanel brooch. This is the Chanel brooch, but not a designer Coco Chanel brooch. It was made by the Chanel Novelty Company, who tried to sell their wares during the umbrella of the famous designer Chanel name during the 1940s World War II years. Why is this brooch worth more than $3,000? What's so special about it? It's not made with diamonds or rubies, and the setting is not solid gold. Well, the reason is because there was a huge controversy surrounding the company who created them. During a brief period of Chanel history in the 1940s, the famous designer encountered circumstances that stopped them dead in their tracks. However, Chanel jewelry continued appearing in the market. Ironically enough, the only pieces produced during this time that bore the Chanel name were not made by Chanel. Here is an authentic Chanel flamingo brooch. In 1941, during the World War II era, an American costume jewelry company, the Chanel Novelty Company, started producing costume jewelry with a script signature, Chanel, stamped on each piece. The designer Chanel had closed its doors during that time. Chanel sued for obvious trademark infringement, protesting the use of its name, and won. This resulted in the mimicked cursive Chanel stamp being terminated. Chanel jewelry made before 1939 won't be marked, as they were created to complement Coco Chanel's couture line of clothing. Here is Chanel's logo. It is always in block letters, not in cursive. After the lawsuit, the new name for this other jewelry maker became the Renaud Novelty Company. While these pieces are not official Chanel pieces, Chanel Novelty Company jewelry is extremely rare and valuable in their own right. This lawsuit marked a significant and tumultuous time in the history of true Chanel designer products. Here is a picture of a Bakelite flamingo brooch, value $65. And here we have a photo of a diamond ruby flamingo brooch, valued at $6,500. Did you know that vintage 1960s and 1970s paint-by-number art is quite valuable? These flamingo pictures sell from $50 to $125 each. Who remembers sitting down to paint their own priceless piece of art, but after a few mistakes, they ended up in the trash? Judith Lieber handbags and clutch purses. Here is a designer, Judith Lieber Couture Avalon Flamingo Crystal Clutch Bag. Judith Lieber creates handcrafted, fun novelty bags using brilliant crystal pieces. They denote exquisite elegance, style, and sophistication and sell in the thousands of dollars. This particular flamingo handbag has a selling price of $4,995. Now, next talking about flamingo fabric prints used for clothing. Well, some folks love flamingos so much they want to resemble one. On a more serious note, vintage flamingo apparel prints from the mid-century are sought after and can sell for over $100. New or vintage fabric prints, in other words, some are remakes. How about a flamingo car? Did you know there was even a Buick showroom car called the Flamingo? Whoops, wrong photo. The Flamingo, as it was labeled, was a fancy 1961 Buick Electra 225 convertible manufactured and designed for a General Motors car event called Motorama in 1961. It featured several eccentric features, such as a flamboyant, custom, shocking, pearly pink exterior paint color and a kitschy custom interior made with two-tone upholstery in pink leather and cranberry brocade fabric. A wide console with bright metal trim ran between the front bucket seats, and a pivoting passenger seat which turned 180 degrees to face the rear passenger seats, supposedly for outdoor entertaining, such as tailgate parties. Unfortunately, like most other previous GM show cars, it was probably destroyed. There are so many other Flamingo collectibles, these are but a few. This mid-century souvenir shell light sells for over $50 in very good condition. Now it's time to share a refreshing Flamingo drink recipe with everyone. See you in a bit. Now it's time to make a luscious Flamingo cocktail drink. Today I'm going to be making a virgin Flamingo drink, but if you wanted the alcohol version, you could add a little bit of rum, a little bit of vodka. So I've pre-made everything with my little makeshift bar here. So I'll just be going along and telling you how much there is in each one. First of all, we've got, normally you would use ice in a shaker, and you would mix the first 3 ingredients with the shaker. But since I don't have a shaker here, we're going to just do it this way. So I'm doing crushed ice in my cups, and there should be about enough here, maybe one more. Okay, so in this measuring cup here, I'm going to take 1 cup of cranberry juice, and this makes 2 drinks. Okay, and this is a 1/2 cup of canned pineapple juice. Add that in there. Okay, now that I've added the pineapple juice and the cranberry juice together, I have some freshly squeezed lemon juice here, just 2 tablespoons. So I'm going to add that in. That's the amenities about here in Florida. One of the biggest amenities is you can have citrus galore. Limes, oranges, lemons, grapefruit, real positive aspect on that one. Okay, so also I'm going to add just a little bit of orange in there. It said just add a squirt of orange. So, okay, so with this mixture, I'm going to divide it up between these 2 cups. Of course, I get the pretty one. My husband doesn't. He gets the other one. Now I'm going to add some club soda to finish off these 2 drinks. Some in here and a little bit more in there. Okay. And you can kind of garnish these a little bit. I'm going to add some lime garnish to the cup, or to the glasses, just to make them look really fancy. Yeah, there we go. And some Flamingo straws that I ordered off of Amazon. And this is my buddy Pinky. We're going to get ready to have some fun times here with Pinky. Got him at Walmart. You had to get him. Okay, yeah, it's showtime. Okay, so I've got my cocktail here, and I've got my newly purchased Pink Floyd The Wall vinyl, yay! And I'm going to sit down and relax with this refreshing, delicious cocktail. The glass I got at a garage sale for $1 too. I couldn't bypass that one. And sorry about the confusion here. We don't have a whole lot of space. There we go. Okay. So now I also happen to buy these unique glasses. And I'm going to sit down and read this wonderful book. So till next time, happy treasure hunting.